Watch this now. Here we go. We're getting on the mic here. We're going. I told you it won't take long. I like to call this. I like to see my little mole down there. Look. If you're tired of being afraid, listen carefully. If you're tired of being afraid, take away its power. How do I take away, if I'm afraid of a problem, how do I take the fear away? How do I get out of it, the fear? Take away its power. Its power is your attention. If all you can think about is that problem, if all you can have in your mind is that problem. I have people sometimes tell me, say, you got a little Pollyanna effect. You just think that things are going to just magically go away because you're not going to talk about it. And I go, no, I've talked about it, but now I'm talking to it. Amen. You just want to keep talking about it. You want to keep it on the table. Keep talking about the problem. We talk it to death, talk it to death, talk it to death, talk it to death. Well, this person ain't doing this, and that person ain't doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Quit talking about the problem all the time. It'll drive you up the wall. Talk to the problem. I got this morning, and I could think of some things that are some issues that I've been dealing with other people, and issues that I've dealt with in the family. And instead of talking about it, I talked to it first thing this morning. God, it's in your hands. God, you take it. See, watch this. Some people have a make a mountain out of a molehill faith. I'll let that sink in. Have you ever met somebody who wants to make a mountain out of a molehill? It's a little bitty problem. I've had people that I had a little bitty problem when I first started serving God. There'd be a little bitty problem. Everything would be fine until somebody kept talking about it, kept talking about it, kept talking about it, kept talking about it, and said, what we're going to do, what we're going to do, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. And I wasn't taught at the time to talk to the problem. So all I did was just keep talking about the problem. What I did was, I didn't realize that I was talking myself in a corner. Anybody ever painted a floor and you're painting and all of a sudden you realize you just painted yourself in a corner? You know, I was helping Danny. Danny had a driveway he was putting out, the possum track, had a driveway he was putting out there, cement. And this thing was, Lord knows, it went from the house all the way to the road, so it was a long driveway. And so Danny and I are out there trying to get the driveway right. And here comes this old mangy dog that I don't know who he belonged to. That mangy dog went over and stepped right in Daddy's cement. I said, Daddy, leave him alone. And Daddy says, who's that dog think he is? He's stepping in my cement. I said, Daddy, leave him alone. And Daddy said, that dog's going to get out of here. I said, Daddy, you're getting ready to mess up. And Daddy picked up a broom and chased after that dog. And instead of what it would have happened, the dog would have backed out and everything would have been fine. But when Daddy chased the dog with that broom and hollered at it, the dog ran all the way down. And Daddy started screaming and turned all the way back. Then the dog ran all the way over here. I said, Daddy, if you'd have left the dog alone, you made a big deal out of it. And he tore it all to pieces. And the Lord spoke to me and says, you do the same thing. That's one that we can go, That's one you just thought of one, didn't you? That you wouldn't leave alone and all of a sudden it became a great big problem. And if you'd have just left it alone and give it to God and kept messing with it, it'd have been okay. Amen. It's like picking at a bump. A little bitty bump. And I'm going to try to take that little bitty bump. I'm still pushing. Notice by the time I get where I'm going, I got this great big old sore on the side of my face. It's like I got slapped in the head with a bat. If I'd left it alone on the way there, I'd have been fine. But I had to keep picking and keep picking. Amen. So watch. Watch this. People have a make a mountain out of a molehill faith. They say, now we perish. They're assuming that it's over. They're assuming that they're going to die. They're assuming that they're going to be taken down. You see, so watch this. God wants us to act on His Word, not react to circumstances. I've heard some of you don't realize how much you have helped my faith over the years I've been with you, and there'll be something going on, and even as I know better, sometimes I find myself wanting to react to the circumstance instead of being proactive. Amen. We're supposed to be proactive, not reactive. There was something the Lord showed me, and I talk about this in counseling to couples, and that is there's three ways couples talk together. Now, y'all think about this. I want y'all to think about this and remember this. If you're having a problem, the way you talk to each other, you can be proactive, which means while it's still small and while it's not going to kill anybody, you can talk about it. Or you can be reactive and wait till the problem occurs, and in the middle of the problem start talking about it. Proactive usually works. Reactive can work, but the problem with reactive is once one becomes reactive, usually the other one becomes radioactive. And when the other one becomes radioactive, you can't talk. Because watch this. Everybody has a seesaw. You have emotions and you have logic. Emotions and logic. The person that you're talking to, especially your spouse, has emotions and logic. The problem is a lot of times when that emotion gets high, if you don't stay logical, you'll get high too, and nothing gets accomplished because both of you are radioactive. Once somebody's got to stay logical, so the other one, pull the other one down to be logical so you can handle the problem. The same way with any kind of problem in our life. Remember this, we can be proactive, handle it when it's small, handle it when we can do something about it. You know, when I see a little bitty wasp nest, I go ahead and take it on down. When I see a little bitty spider nest, I go ahead and take it on down, because if I leave it alone, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to get so big that you can't do anything about it, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. So remember, there's proactive, talk about it when it's small, and talk about it when it can be handled without any tears, any problem. Number two, you can be reactive. Reactive is as it's going on, you start talking about it, but the problem with reactive is many times one or both will become radioactive, and when you get radioactive, nobody can touch it. It's a hot spot, it's a hot button, nobody can touch it, leave it alone, somebody's going to die. So it's very important to remember those three things. Especially in your own life, when you have a problem, take care of it when it's small. Don't wait for it to get so big that it's got roots and you can't do a thing about it. So as soon as the worst thing is, we're going to perish. You think Jesus being asleep on the boat was their sign that they were going to perish? Later on, when Peter's in jail, and James being killed with a sword, what did the angel have to do to Peter? Wake him up. You see, he learned. He learned that you ain't got to freak out every time there's a problem. You ain't got to go crazy. Oh, no, what are we going to do now? I had somebody just yesterday, there was a problem going on, and I was with some people, and one of them was having a problem going on. They looked over at me and said, does it even bother you? I said, very, very much it bothered me. They said, well, you're not jumping up and down. I said, well, why waste my energy jumping up and down when I can use my energy to pray and talk to God about it, and I can use my energy to handle it in a proactive way instead of a reactive way. I even told the person, I'm sorry that my calmness you mistook for callous. It's not callous, it's calmness. There's a difference. So now, as soon as the worst, we perish. And watch this. I'm almost through, getting close to the end.